that they're pretty damn abnormal, because I'm more than happy to shorten that range of motion to a point where it doesn't look like I'm doing much.
What's up? 筋肉翻訳です。さあ今日は分厚い背中を作る下背部種目3つとその注意点見ていきましょう。背中の中でも特に難しいと言われている下背部。今日は特に広背筋下部に焦点を当ててライアンさんが話をしてくれています。広背筋下部を使って背中を厚くするにはどんな種目をどのように行うことがいいのでしょうか。後半ではライアンさんが言っていなかった細かいポイントを一つだけ紹介しているので最後まで見ていってください。では早速見ていきましょう。どうぞ。
All right, today we're in the gym. We're hitting back because a couple people reached out and they said, I'm just not getting the results I want, and I think I know exactly what that is. Also, hear me out on this. There's a certain type of person that likes these videos, snarky humor, workout tips. So I thought maybe as a whole can give that community a name. And the first thing that came to mind is the Megs. Now, it sounds stupid, but once you know the reason why, it makes a lot of sense. So I've talked about different ways to make sure you're engaging that back more than your biceps. Specifically on certain exercises, keeping that elbow in a fixed position, or maybe you heard the analogy before of having hooks for hands, which is incredibly awful and unsettling, but if it works for you, keep doing that. But you can take that information, go out in the world, and still screw it up, because that's not everything. So today we're gonna go even more detail how to really engage that back on certain lifts. So I realized the other day as I was doing my normal version of seated cable rows, that they're pretty damn abnormal, because I'm more than happy to shorten that range of motion to a point where it doesn't look like I'm doing much, but it ensures that it's just my back moving the weight. So the way I do that is by sitting nice and tall, engaging that lower back, but completely disengaging the upper back, letting those lats open up. And at the same time, I'm fighting the urge to let those hands drift forward. I keep them as close as I can to my body, and that really puts even more stress on those lats to open up even further. And then from there, that stack only moves as much as I'm able to contract back. Now, when it comes to T-bar rows, unless you're staying a little bit more straight up and down trying to hit those traps, or maybe you're just giving that other thing a break for a while, stroking your ego instead by moving some heavy weight, which is fun to do sometimes, I think you're better served by going lighter, especially when you're trying to hit those lower lats. Two things on these. First, I always use 25s, because if I shorten the range of motion, it's going to be on my terms, not because I got 45s on here and I'm smashing against my chest. And the second thing is I'm trying to stay parallel to the floor, because I have some people reach out and they said, how do you get these weird overdeveloped lower lats? That's simple. All you gotta do is do exercises that focus on putting stress on where the actual lats originate from, less on that insertion point. And the cool thing about this exercise, unlike most other back exercises, is actually the contraction starts more towards that origin and finishes off where they insert. Maybe you're a little bit more risk adverse than me. You don't want to do an exercise where at any moment you can make a wrong move or sneeze and potentially shoot out your spine. But to me, it's worth the risk. The results are that good. Now, if that's not the case, let's put the training wheels back on and do a version on the bench that works pretty damn good as well. Now, the mistake I see a lot of people make on these is they just arch that back the entire time and they just yank that weight up. But to me, it's a little bit more multi-dimensional than that, because not only can you get a little flexion and extension with that back, which is going to light up the spinal erectors, but also you can relax those shoulders, wrap that back around the bench, and then arch up, squeeze, and then pull everything around, wrap those shoulders back, and it's going to hit and light up your entire back.
さあ、いかがでしたでしょうか。最後の種目以外は動きとしてはかなり小さな動きに見えましたね。ここで注意点。今回の種目全てで言えることなんですが、ライアンさんの腰椎が完全に固定されているんです。これは後半でライアンさんが言っていた言葉と似ているんですが、広背筋はこんな感じで腰のあたりまでついてるんですね。なのでこの腰のあたりの付着部が動いてしまうと、手の位置が大きく動いていたとしても筋肉の伸び縮みとしては小さなものになってしまうんですね。そしてこの腰椎を固定するっていう感覚は背中の成長を促すだけでなくて腰を守るっていう観点でも重要になります。なのでまずは今日の3種目目から筋肉が大きく伸び縮みする感覚をつけていって、そして少しずつ立った状態、座った状態でも腰椎が固定できるように練習していきましょう。みんなは広背筋下部に対してどのようなアプローチをしていますか？コメント欄で教えてください。動画のリクエスト、チャンネル登録お待ちしてます。ではまた。筋肉翻訳 T シャツ新発売。よれにくくソフトな肌触り、しっかりした生地を採用しました。僕が着てるのは XL。 今回は L サイズと XL の販売です。概要欄のアパレル販売ページから飛んでいってください。ここまで見ていただいてありがとうございます。これからも引き続き情報発信とアパレルも様々出していく予定なので、リクエストあれば教えてください。今後も引き続きよろしくお願いします。ではまた。
I won't look back when you're around. I won't think twice when you're gone.